St. Juan's home for the ADD.
If St. Juan's had a legal department, they'd be telling me right now that you should not try this at home. They'd also be telling me not to play copyrighted material on YouTube. But since they don't, I don't care. Try this at your own risk. If it burns down your house, it's your own fault. This is the inside of a PlayStation 3. Here is the opened up Blu-ray player. Watch out, that's a Class 2 laser. And the power supply. And here are the two touch buttons for the one for power and one for disc eject. Now the problem with this particular player is that it got dropped. I was packing it up to move it, put it in its back in its original box, and didn't have the bottom taped open, so it decided to fall out the bottom of it. And it never quite worked right after that. I mean, the electronics worked fine, it played games just fine, it played videos just fine, but it would have a real tough time ejecting things, and things finally came to a head today when it wouldn't accept a new disc at all. So I went to the local hardware store and got a warranty voidinator to open up this one screw right here. Well, it isn't there anymore. After that, the rest of it was accessible by Phillips. So I took the whole thing apart, and I was unable to fix the mechanical problems with it. But I did discover something interesting. What I discovered was that this has a nice little hub with a powerful magnet in the center, otherwise free floating. That's the device that actually tells this thing whether there is in fact a disc installed. So we put this into my completely opened, completely jammed Blu-ray player, put the hub in place, and we notice that it spins normally. Now from here, we tell it to eject, and which tells it to check if the disc is actually in place. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see the little Blu-ray laser shining through the disc at this point. Now this is the part where I say do not try this at home, because, well, that disc is spinning very rapidly. And if you've seen any other videos on the net about rapidly spinning CDs or DVDs or such, you've seen that they tend to explode. So it's not any more likely to explode with the case off than with it on, but since the case is off, if it explodes, there's a lot more damage done. So we've put the disc in there, and now we're going to check that it in fact is playable. I think it's cool how you can see the laser shining all the way through the disc in this case. I also think it's cool that it works even under room light conditions. So my plans for right now, I guess, are to not fix it and put it back into my my TV stand and use that as its case. So got the usual, depending on how long, blah blah blah. But there we go. Coming soon to theaters 2 years ago. Toy Story 3 is an excellent movie, by the way. So this isn't Toy Story 3, but it was made for it. And there we go. Again, if you try this at home, whatever happens is your own responsibility. That's it for this episode of St. Juan's New Product Post.